Hello everyone. Welcome to e-learning of IT for 11th standard. This video is for 11th standard arts, commerce and science students. We are discussing third chapter from syllabus, that is impressive web designing. In last lecture we have discussed about different form elements that we can create with the input tag with different attributes. So we have learned how to create a text box, that is a single line text box, then how to create a password field, how to create a radio button, checkbox, different buttons like submit button, reset button, etc. So in today's lecture we are going to discuss about two more form elements, that is text area and select tag. Here this text area tag is used to create a multi-line text box. In last lecture we have learned how to create a single line text box, that is to take a single line input from user. But if suppose the input is multi-line as like address or feedback, then we can use a text area tag to create a multi-line text box. Then to create a drop down list or list box control, we can use a select tag and option tag. So today we will discuss about text area and select and option tag. First of all, this text area tag is used to create a text box, but it is having a multiple lines. So we can take a multi-line input from user with this text area control. Number of lines and width of the text box are specified by using rows and calls attribute respectively. That is how many lines will be there in a text area control in that text box, that is specified with the help of rows. If we want 5 rows in the text box, then we can specify rows is equal to 5. And calls attribute is used to specify the width of that text box. So we can set that width with the help of calls attribute, like calls is equal to 20, 30, 40. In this way we can set the rows and calls attribute for text area control. There are different attributes for this text area control, like name attribute. Name is used to specify a unique name to that text area. That name can be a user defined value. You can specify any meaningful name. And name is the attribute, so it is included within this text area tag. Text area, after that name is equal to, within a double quote, you have to specify a value for that name attribute. Then rows attribute is used to specify a number of lines, number of rows in that text area control. So we can specify like this: rows is equal to 5, 6, 7, etc. To specify a width of that text area, calls attribute is used. So we can set as like calls is equal to 40, 50, 90, etc. That specifies the width of text area. Then max length attribute is there. It specifies the maximum number of characters that can be entered within that text area control. So we can restrict the number of characters in a input control with the help of max length attribute. Max length is equal to 50. This will set that text area to enter the characters up to 50 characters. So in this way we can set maximum number of characters that are to be included in the text area control. Then placeholder attribute is there. It acts as like a short hint that describes the expected value of a text area. That is what is to be entered into that control, that we can provide as a hint to a user with the help of this attribute, that is a placeholder attribute. So how we can set it? With the help of placeholder attribute, you can use placeholder is equal to enter the hint that is to be displayed within that control, as like this: placeholder is equal to enter address or your address. In this way you can set a hint for a user with the help of placeholder attribute. Then required attribute is there. It specifies that that text area must be filled out. That cannot be blank. If it is blank and you try to submit your data, transfer your data to a server, then it will not be transmitted. Why? Because this control is empty. This control has not entered a value. So we can set a required field with the help of this required attribute. So within a text area, just you have to mention like required, and in that way that field will be required, that must be filled out. If it is not filled out, your data will not be submitted to a server. So in this way we can use a text area tag. Let us see a syntax of it. So in this way we can create a text area control. Text area tag is a container tag. So it has a starting tag and closing tag. So text area, after that name is equal to specify a name for that text area control. Rows is equal to provide a numbered value to specify number of lines in that text area. Calls is equal to specifier width of the text area. Then placeholder is equal to within a double quote specify a hint for user. See, this hint will get disabled automatically whenever user will try to type in that control. So that will act as a hint for a user. Required attribute is there, that is applied like this, that is required only, it does not have another value to be specified. By mentioning that here it is a required, so this field will be compulsory control, compulsory field. If we do not enter any value within that control, data will not be submitted. So that is a required field. In this way we can create a text area control. Then let us discuss about the select tag. Here this select tag is used to create a drop down list. So we can create a drop down list by using this select tag. Again there are some attributes of select tag. So first attribute is name attribute. It is used to assign a name to that control. It is used to specify a name to that select control drop down list. Then multiple attribute is used whenever we want to select more than one value. If we do not include this multiple attribute within this select tag, then drop down list will be created and you can select only one value at a time. But if you want to select more than one values, you can use here multiple attribute within a select tag, so that you will be getting a list box control with the help of this multiple attribute. Then size attribute is used to specify number of visible values. So how many values should be visible at a time, that can be specified with a size attribute. See, this drop down list or list box control may contain more than one values, say 10, 15, 20, 50 values. But if you want to have 5 visible value at a time, then you can set size is equal to 5. In that way, the scroll bar will appear after the 5 values, and in this way you can set a size for that select tag. So these many attributes are used with the select tag, that is name, multiple and size. Name is used to specify name to the select tag. Multiple is used to specify that if you want to select more than one values at a time. Size attribute is used to specify number of visible values. How many values should be visible, that can be set with the size attribute. Select tag is used with the option tag. Where it is to be used? So within a select tag, we are going to use the option tag. See, select tag is a container tag. So select tag start and end, and within that you will use the option tag. Again, this option tag is a container tag, so it also has a starting tag and closing tag. There are again some attributes that are used with the option tag. So those attributes are selected and value. Selected attribute is used to specify that a certain value in a drop down list or list box control should be pre-selected. Then we can set it with the help of selected attribute. See, as like in checkbox or radio button, if we want to set a certain field to be pre-selected, then we were using a checked as a attribute within that. So in the same way, if we want to have a certain value to be pre-selected in a drop down list, we can use a selected attribute within an option tag. Then value attribute is used to specify a value to the option specified in a drop down list. See, if there are colors in your drop down list like red, green, blue, then whenever user will select a red color, which value is to be submitted to a server, that can be set with the help of value attribute. So if user will select a red color, one value is to be submitted or R value is to be submitted, that can be set with the help of value attribute. So two attributes are used with the option tag, selected and value. Selected is used to define a pre-selected option, and value attribute is used to specify the value that is to be transferred to a server whenever user will select a certain option. So value associated with the option can be set with a value attribute. So let us write down a program to understand the use of text area, select and option tag. So let us open a notepad and start writing a code. So first of all, doc type HTML, document type is HTML. After that, HTML tag start and end of HTML. Within this, let us add a head tag, start and close the head tag. Within this, let us add a title tag, start and end of the title. Add here any meaningful title, suppose text area and drop down list. Text area and drop down list. Then close this title tag, close the head tag, and now let us open a body tag. So body tag start, then close the body tag. Within this, we want to use text box control and select control. So first of all, we will include a form tag to add a form elements. So form and end of form. Within a form, let us add an attribute. Name is equal to, specify name for this form. Suppose F2. Within this form tag, now let us use a text area control. Let us understand the difference between text box and text area. So let us use a text box first. So how to create a text box? Suppose we want to enter a name. Then name. Here to create a single line text box, the tag used is a input tag. So input type is equal to text. This will create a single line text box. You can specify name for this. Suppose T1. Then let us use a BR tag to have a line break. After that, to accept suppose address of certain user, we will use a multi-line text box. To create a multi-line text box, the tag used is a text area. So text area. After that, add here attributes. So first of all, let us add name is equal to, specify a name, suppose TA, or we can say address. Then let us set a number of lines for this text area. So we can use a rows attribute. Rows is equal to suppose 4. To specify width for this control, we will use a calls attribute. So let us use 40. Calls is equal to 40. Then to specify this control is compulsory, we will use a required attribute. To provide hint, we will use a placeholder attribute. So placeholder is equal to, add here hint for a user. Suppose enter address. In this way, we will use a text area control. This text area is a container tag, so we have to close it. So close the text area tag. After that, we will add a pair of BR tag to have a line break. Now let us save this program to check the output. Save the program within your folder. I am going to save it in a programs folder. Type a name for this program. Suppose text area dot html. Extension is dot html. Save this file. Now within a programs folder, here my file has been created, that is a text area. Let us run this file to check the output. This is a single line text box. So here user will enter the values that will be entered in a single line. Okay. Let us enter name here. Here this is a hint, that is a enter address. Okay. Here type a address. Let us correct it. Enter address. Save this program, then Alt tab, and now refresh the page. So this is a hint for address. Whenever user will begin to type, that hint will automatically disappear. Okay. Here we can change the number of rows and columns. Let us increase the number of rows. Let us add 10 here. So height of that text area control will increase in this way. 10 number of lines. To increase or decrease the width, we have to change this value, that is a false value. Suppose it is a 90. Save this, Alt tab, and refresh the page. See here, width of this text area has increased. We can set a max length for this tag also. So to add a or to set a maximum length, we will use here max length attribute. Max length is equal to suppose 20. Save this program, Alt tab, and now refresh the page. Let us add here characters. So after 20 characters, input will be restricted. So in this way we can use a max length attribute. Placeholder is to specify or provide a hint for user. Required is used to specify that this is a required field. See, if we add here a button, submit button. How to add a submit button? We will use the input tag. So input type is equal to submit. Value, we can add a label for that button. So let us add as a OK. Save this. This is a submit button that is used to transfer data to a server. If we will not enter any value within this control, your data will not be submitted. See here. Please fill out this field. Why? Because this is a compulsory field. And how to do this or how to achieve this? We have to use a required attribute here within that control. So within a text area, we have used required attribute. So whenever we will type here address and we will click on OK button, then our data will get transmitted. In this way, we can use a text area control. Now, let us add a city field to accept a city. We will use here select tag to create a drop down list. Select tag is a container tag. So select and end of the select tag. Again, here we will use a name attribute to specify a name. Name is equal to suppose city. Within this, we will use the option tag. Option tag start and end of the option tag to add the different options. Suppose we will add Pune. Then again option and end of option. Let us add one more city. Option and end of option. Add here city name. Suppose Mumbai. Now save this. Press Ctrl S, then Alt tab, and now refresh the page. So see here, city, three different cities that we have added here. Now let us cut this button from here and we will add that at the end of the form. Here we will use a BR tag to have a line break. Save this, Alt tab, and now see here is the drop down list. Now if we want to display more than one values at a time and we want to select more than one values at a time, first of all let us check the output of it. Let us enter the values here. Select city, suppose Ratnagiri, click on this button and now our data has transferred. See here, name, then address and then city is Ratnagiri. Now if we want to select more than one values, we want to display more than one values, here within a option tag we have to use a within a select tag we will use a multiple attribute. Okay, so add here multiple, then press Ctrl S, then Alt tab and refresh the page. Now see here there are different values, multiple values, and we can select more than one values. Let us check it. Press here, type here values, then now let us select two cities, Pune and Ratnagiri. Now click on OK button and see here two cities have been transferred to a server. Now if certain value is to be pre-selected, suppose Ratnagiri is to be pre-selected, then add here selected attribute. So Ctrl S, Alt tab, and now see here Ratnagiri is pre-selected. Now if we do not select any value, by default Ratnagiri will get transferred. Okay, now we can set here value attribute to specify a value that is to be transferred whenever user will select that option. So whenever user will select Pune city, P is to be transferred. Here whenever Ratnagiri will be selected, R value is to be transferred. So we can set like this, value is equal to R. Similarly, value is equal to suppose n. So press Ctrl S, then Alt tab and refresh the page. Now see here, let us type a name, Gauri, enter here address, then let us select a city, let us select one more city, Pune and Ratnagiri. Click on OK button and see here P and R, P for Pune, R for Ratnagiri have transferred to the server. So in this way we can create a drop down list. How many values are to be displayed at a time, that we can set with the help of size attribute. So we can use size attribute within this select tag. So size is equal to suppose 2. So 2 values will be displayed at a time. See here, 2 values are displayed and after that scroll bar will appear. If we add one more value here, suppose C, Chittoor. Save this, Alt tab and refresh the page. See here after the 2 values, the scroll bar is there. In this way we can create a text area control, that is multi-line text box, and a drop down list. Drop down list can have a single value at a time or multiple values at a time. If we will remove it, see here multiple attribute, then in this way this control will appear. If we will remove the size attribute too, then single value will be visible. and this Ratnagiri is pre-selected. Okay, in this way, here let us add again those values. Size is equal to suppose 2 and add here multiple attribute. Save this program, Alt tab and refresh. So to create this text area, we have used a text area tag, that is a container tag. To add the number of lines, we use a rows control. To specify width, we use a calls control. To have this hint, we use placeholder attribute. Then to make this compulsory field, we use a required attribute. To create this control, we use a select tag, and to add these options, we use a option tag. If certain value is to be pre-selected, then we use a selected attribute within an option tag. To have a multiple values visible at a time, we use a multiple attribute within select tag. And how many values should be at a time visible, that we set with a size attribute within a select tag. So note down all these things about a text area tag with all its attributes, syntax of it, then select tag with attributes, option tag with its attribute, and then try to create a program that will make use of this text area and drop down this, that is a select tag and option tag. You can create a reservation form and you can have these fields like city, from and to, and then address of the customer, and then you can have this button. So in this way, try to create your own program. So first of all, note down this program and then try to execute it. Thank you.